Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to have you here. Thank you so much for being interested in this wonderful topic that data science is. I am Andrea Turcu, a data scientist, and today I'm going to help you actually prepare for a data science job. So whether you're a beginner in this domain, whether you're just curious or both, or you just want to explore more options, this is the place to be because we are going to cover a lot of interesting topics. So thank you so much for the organization, Mohammed. And from Mentored IT, I really appreciate the invitation, and I'm super excited to be part of this experience.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Andrea. And as mentioned by Andrea, so this session, maybe I'm representing a mentor team on this regard. So as you may know, you have maybe received some invitations by email or followed the platform on the social media, Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook. So the aim is to make sure that we are enabling you to have better job prospects. And this is by running a few or several trainings, workshops, etc., on different IT domains. And today we have a very special guest, which is Andrea. She has been in the data science domain for some time already. So she would be the best person to guide you on what is actually data science as a job, what you can expect, and also how to get a better job in the data science domain. So we now have started the recording. So if that's fine with you, Andrea, we can start. Andrea will take the lead from this. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat during the session. If you'd like to put it in Arabic, that's fine. I can take it and translate it in English. If you'd like to share it in English directly, that would be even better. So Mike, over to you, Andrea. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mohammed. Indeed, you are right. Actually, the data science domain is a big domain right now, and especially with all the generative AI topics that are surfacing in the most recent times. I think having more knowledge about this domain in general is a requirement if we are interested in having better career prospects. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We are going to have a presentation about what are the things that you really need to take into consideration when you want to prepare for a data science career. So thank you once again, Mentored IT, for hosting this event. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and I'm going to do my best to go to walk you through the main steps that I consider so important into orienting yourselves to a more data science related career, especially in Europe right now and in Africa and like actually all over the world. The data science domain is bigger and bigger. There are more demands and more offerings with respect to this domain. So I really think that having a better view and understanding of the main skills that you need to have and actually working actively towards achieving them is going to make your life easier in terms of finding a job that suits you better, maybe, or just improving your current professional career with some topics that incorporate some data-related bricks in it. So just to go to the next slide here, I'm going to focus on three main chapters. Of course, I will do an introduction and I will present myself so that I give you the context of why am I here today. I'm going to talk about data science roles in general, data-related roles. What are the main responsibilities? What are the soft and the hard skills that someone needs to have with respect to core data-related jobs and very specialized data-related jobs? So, of course, we have the data scientists, but we also have NLP engineers, and the responsibilities, the soft skills and the hard skills are not the same. So that's why for us it is important, before actually deciding what is the role that we really want to integrate or what type of skills do we want to achieve, to take a look at all these jobs, all these responsibilities, and make an assessment of ourselves with respect to what is our personality like, so that we integrate roles that actually adapt to us and not vice versa. It's not us who need to adapt to the role, but it's the role to actually need to adapt to our position and personality. And that's something that I've been saying to all my students for a lot of time, because usually we have this mentality that, oh, I need to adapt my skills and my soft and hard skills to the job. But actually, if you don't like that job, making all the efforts in acquiring these skills is not going to make you happy. So we need to achieve happiness here. And for me, and that's the reason why I'm sharing this, data science has made me happy, and I want to share that with you too. Then we are going to discuss a bit about the main concepts of evolving and improving your data profile in general, and which are the three main aspects to do so. And afterwards, we are going to discuss more about the tips and tricks to craft a better data science adapted CV. Of course, mentorship is pretty important here too, because if I would have known from the beginning of my data science career what were like the most strategic and fastest steps for me to take so that I arrived at this position, I wouldn't have had so many struggles, let's say, like just learning things and meeting the right people. These are things that Mentored IT and my data career coaching program are really aiming to do, so that we spread knowledge and tips and tricks with respect to our own professional experience to people who are genuinely interested in this topic and are genuinely interested in actually integrating a field that is so wonderful as data science. So without further ado, I'm going to present myself. I have been a data scientist for more than 6 years now. I am the head of global training department of H2O.ai, which is an artificial intelligence platform. The presentation that I'm doing right now, it's not in this context, so I'm not representing the company. I'm actually representing myself as an individual who is doing efforts in the direction of sharing knowledge with respect to my own professional experience. I have been a former president of the Lyon Data Science Association, and I'm currently an organizer. And this is the first data science association here in France, in Lyon, that has been organized. And I'm also a former freelance data science instructor. So as you see, I am very, very interested in spreading knowledge with respect to these domains, which are related to data in general, to the AI field. And I have been active in trying to spread my knowledge and actually help people integrate this domain, because we need people like you who are interested in working with data, because data actually, from my own perspective, is the numerical gold of our digital era. And that's a quote that I invented myself. Maybe there's out there also in another form. But I really think that. I think that as our forests are the green gold, as petroleum is the black gold, well, data is our digital gold, that if we know how to leverage, is going to make such a huge difference and such a benefic social impact. So I have been very active online, on LinkedIn. I have been given a lot of conferences related to data domains. I have taught courses and created courses myself, and I have mentored a lot of people in this domain, because I think helping people to achieve their data potential is extremely important nowadays. And if more and more people know how to work with data and know that data is important, that its quality matters, well, we are going to have better results, more optimized results for our products and for our customers in general. So data is extremely, extremely important. And so after having getting involved myself with so many activities, I said, well, why not, now that I know the key aspects that someone needs to focus on when wanting to become a data scientist, why not actually create an entity called Grid Data that is going to be responsible of doing just that, creating personalized career programs for people that are interested in data-related domains, and also giving conferences to other companies about the importance of data itself. There are a lot of companies out there that do not have a data department, and sometimes, unfortunately, they do not know how important it is to have consultants that work in data-related subjects on their projects, or to have collaborators who can come up with projects and initiatives related to this role. So data democratization, data literacy, and overall data demystification is, for me, extremely important. And I think genuinely that if more people would be interested in learning about these matters, like you are doing right now because you are joining this meeting, well, more people would be able to make a difference in their own companies and in their own professional lives. So let's start already to discuss about the data science roles. I'm going to give you an overview about why data matters in general, what are the core data science roles, and what are the more specialized data science roles. Of course, these things I came up with, they are always changing, and unfortunately, it's something that we are going to find out, the fact that this domain is so new that it's continuously evolving. There is no black or white with respect to data roles, with respect to data responsibilities. And we need to keep in mind that when we are working in a data domain, the most important thing that we need to do is to be adaptable and flexible, because sometimes our roles are going to evolve, and they are not always going to stick to the main responsibilities, unless you are working in super big companies that have hundreds of people in their data departments, or in very, very specialized startups that are focusing on data science and AI, where your role is going to be defined and you are going to work in a particular niche. So just to show you a bit the idea here, why data matters? Well, it matters for a couple of reasons. The first one is that data helps you have informed decision-making process. So data provides essential insights for effective decision-making in various domains, and that is proven over and over again. That's why we have so many AI companies that start appearing, because we see it's something that is happening and impacting our society in a good way, and everyone wants to capitalize on that. Data also identifies trends, opportunities, and customer preferences, and this is what drives business success in general. So by leveraging the data that you have about your own processes, about your own products, about your own clients, you can better create products and services that are going to be more suited to the clients themselves. So that's one of the main things that I'm super interested in. Having a data strategy for a company is something that every company who wants to stay competitive should focus on. The second topic that I want to cover here is that you would have more risk management and accountability. So data is vital for identifying and mitigating potential risks in business and other areas. It holds individuals and organizations accountable for their actions through transparency and tracking. And data also promotes this idea of openness and a responsible behavior in sectors such as governments or corporate operations. We are seeing more and more that with the new RGPD rules that have been implemented in Europe, data is catered to be more, to be safer and more secure for everyone. And maybe here Mohamed could say more about the cybersecurity aspects, but really the security of the data is something that a lot of companies are interested in, because if we are giving our data to companies who don't have any rules into using that data, that's actually an ethical problem, a responsible problem. And that's why nowadays this is a focus that is more and more important. Also, innovation, progress, and learning. These are aspects that are influenced by data in general. And we can see that in the majority of the research papers that we have right now, well, actually, there is always a study that involves statistics and databases and data science, data collection, data manipulation, and data visualization, so that you are able to prove your idea through that research. So data plays a crucial role in driving innovation, fostering new ideas, enabling research and advancements in various fields. And these data-driven insights enhance education and learning methodologies, and that's why data is so important. So by now, if I didn't make my case on why data is important in general, I apologize. I'm just going to continue. So we learned about the fact that data is super important, but now let's learn more about what are the different data roles that there are and how you can actually take a look at them and decide for yourself what is the data role that would be very interesting for you. So the next slide actually is a bit heavy, but I'm going to simplify it. On the left side, you see the core data science roles, and on the right side, you see the specialized data science roles as they are right now. Of course, there are even more roles, and in the specialty literature, this organization may be a bit different, but we all agree on the same thing, the fact that a data scientist is a role that everyone is pursuing right now, just because it opens doors with respect to what other data-related roles we can integrate. So here you have the responsibilities on the second column. So for the core data science roles, we have data scientist, data engineer, data analyst, and machine learning engineer. So for me, and I consider that these are the core data science roles that someone can learn about if they just want to start their data-related role in general. From these responsibilities, you can migrate, of course, to more specialized data science roles. And these specialized roles are capitalizing on information that might be accumulated by a data scientist or a data engineer or a business analyst or a machine learning engineer, going into more specialized areas such as NLP engineering, computer vision engineering, big data analytics, or data science consultancy in general, where the role actually is not defined in advance and you just need to adapt on site to whatever project situation you may find. So to rephrase a bit, as a data scientist, you have some responsibilities that you need to understand from the beginning if you want to work in this domain. And if you have never worked in this domain, no problem. Actually, you can start. Like, there is always a starting point. There is so much demand with respect to data-related roles that junior profiles are pretty much researched. So as a data scientist, I would advise to know more data cleaning methods, data preprocessing and treatment of data, data modeling, statistical analysis, and some machine learning algorithms. This is a sort of a pre-requirement for you to be able to work on data science roles. You need to understand what the data science lifecycle is and what that pipeline looks like, so that you know how to place yourself within a project once that project occurs. Data engineer is another role, and here the data engineer is someone who has more database related knowledge as compared to the data scientist. The data engineer focuses on data storage, data infrastructure, and data preprocessing, making sure that this database is available for the teammates to use, and that the storage of this database is done in correct manners. Business analyst is a more generic role that involves understanding the data and translating the data that comes out as a result from the data scientist, for example, into concrete business strategies. The business analyst is a visionary in the sense that the business analyst identifies trends, provides recommendations, and actually helps at taking the business decision that the business deciders actually need to take. And machine learning engineer is a role that, unlike the data scientist, has more knowledge with respect to programming, and develops machine learning models more, deploys them in production systems, and optimizes their performance. So you see that even though data is at the core of everything that core data science roles do, there are different responsibilities that you need to take a look at so that you understand which area is something that is of interest to you. Yes.
Well, thank you, Andrea. So I think there's a question that come to a lot of people's mind. Maybe this one that came as well. So maybe I wanted to understand from you and the job roles on the left side. If I am just graduated from my university, whether in Egypt or outside, so can I apply for these roles, or is this like kind of you consider them as an entry-level job that I can prepare a little bit and go, or do you need like a lot of years of experience?
That's a great question. So as any job role in general, of course, there are experience levels that you need to go through. As someone who just graduates from the university, let's say with a computer science or economics or statistics background, you are definitely going to be a junior in the field that you are going to enter. So these are the main responsibilities and roles that someone that has this particular role needs to know about. But of course, as a junior, it's not expected of you to actually be able to complete the entire project by yourself. So as a junior data scientist, for example, what is expected to you in respect to these responsibilities is actually to have a good understanding of how to access the data, what data cleaning means, where, for example, here, do I need to take out missing values? Do I need to fill those rows where there are missing values? Do I need to take out values that are outliers or extreme values? This is something that data preprocessing is going to need from you to do. And if you know the concepts, well, I'm sure that within your team, you will be able to understand better what is expected of you. So just to answer clearly your question, these are the main responsibilities for people who should, at the end of their 3 years of experience or 5 years of experience, be able to work with a ton individually, like in an automatized manner, meaning that actually these are things that are not expected to you at the beginning of your data science journey, but these are things that you need to work on to improve on, so that at the end of your junior experience, you are confident that you are able to work with data in this manner. I'm not sure if the answer is clear or if I need to repeat it once again.
No, it's perfect. So if I understand, so this is like can be junior or advanced roles, so based on the different company or different organization. So that's mean, for example, I can be a junior data scientist and I would be doing some responsibilities, and I can be senior data scientist and I would be doing some things different. So yeah, it was very clear. Thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you. So these responsibilities are generic responsibilities that I found useful and common for those particular roles. And of course, based on the degree of experience that you have, you may be able to complete it by yourself, or you might need some assistance. So as a junior, it's not expected of you to be able to clean all the database, but it is expected of you to be able to identify the errors, the misspellings, and to be able to query the database so that you know how to identify the problems. And this is something that can be learned through creating your own portfolios. I'm going to talk later on about that, or also through working on the job exactly. Because as a beginner, it's it's not possible for us to know all these things. Otherwise, we would be experts, right? So yeah, I would actually recommend you apply for one of these jobs if this is your interest, even though you don't have experience. But if you have some basic mathematical understanding, if you have done some Python coding, if you have some understanding of statistics and data visualization, well, actually feel free to try to pursue these careers, because nowadays at university, actually, there are a lot of courses that are helping you deal with data in general. So yeah, I'm sure these roles are going to be open to you in case this is something that you want to pursue. So I'm going to help you a bit here with some indications. I'm going to give you an assignment. So I didn't say that at the beginning, but you are going to have 3 assignments that if you are going to follow, it will make your life easier in terms of integrating these particular roles. So the first thing to do for you, especially if you are a graduate or you are in professional reconversion, is to identify what data science role is more suited for you. Out of these roles, based on these responsibilities, and you will have access to the presentation support. I will transmit it to Mohammed afterwards, so you can take a closer look later on also. Which role do you think, based on these responsibilities, is the one that is the best suited to you? And in order to answer to this question, you need to make an introspection of yourself. Just don't take anything that is given to you as being the absolute. Try to think about it and integrate it within your own system and do an introspection about it so that you reach that to that conclusion yourself. Don't just go and take a data science role because I said so. Try to see if this is the perfect fit for you. So in order to do that, I have 2 steps here that you might be able to take into consideration if you consider self-assessment and set clear goals. So for the self-assessment part, I want to see what are my current skills right now? What are my technical skills? Do I have programming skills? Do I know what statistics is? Do I know what data visualization is? And that can help me actually decide what data role do I actually want to pursue. I also want to identify my strengths, meaning, am I a good critical thinker? Do I have good communication skills? Do I have good problem solving skills? Because this might orient me more towards a business analyst career and not a data engineer, right? Like if I'm a very technical person, I might want to be a data engineer or a data machine learning engineer. Whereas if I have good communication skills, but I don't actually want to code too much, but I need to code and I know how to code, but it's not like I'm going to do that 95% of the time, I might consider to be a business analyst or a data scientist. And then, of course, consider your own interest. What are you genuinely interested in? What is the domain that is most interesting and fun for you to do? And afterwards, of course, please try to set some clear goals, meaning what are your career goals? And also try to create a roadmap to how you want to evolve in the future and how you see yourself in the future. And that's very important. I have been recruiting for more than 3 years data related job profiles. And unfortunately, I see among the biggest amount of junior graduates, the fact that they don't have any idea of what they want to do or what they want to pursue as a career. So this is going to actually have some difficulties while discussing at a recruitment meeting, because if you don't know what you want to do and you don't know where you see yourself in 3 or 5 years, it might be difficult for the recruiter to actually help you with evolving in your professional goals. So that's why I always appreciate people who come and say to me, well, this is what I want to do. This is where I see myself in like 3 or 5 years, and I'm working towards that goal. Perfect. It means that you know what you want to do, and that's the first step to actually be able to integrate data-related roles. So that's your first assignment. I'm going to add a new column here with respect to soft skills. in both places. And so soft skills are very, very important with respect to data roles, because we are always working in a team and we are always trying to do our best to communicate the results, to solve the problems, to inform our management, to take decisions with respect to the domain knowledge that we acquire. And here is why I put soft skills for each role in part. And you might be interested in learning, in addition to the responsibilities, what are the soft skills that you need to work on. So for example, in the data scientist role, you need to also be able to have some problem solving, take decisions based on the output that is given to you, communicate those results that you are going to receive, work in teams, and have a critical thinking, and of course be very adaptable with respect to the environment in which you are working in. So soft skills are as important as the responsibilities themselves, because if you are a brainiac but you don't know how to communicate your Nobel Prize results, well, no one is going to find about you. And that's why I think it's so important to have good soft skills. That's the reason why I'm giving you a second assignment, which is linked to starting investing into improving your soft skills. And there are a couple of steps. Of course, you might do them in a different order. I am also giving to you the action description as in the previous assignment. So in these steps, you need to evaluate yourself and be self-aware about what are your current soft skills that you have right now, as well as what are the skills that you lack in terms of soft skills, so that you work towards improving them. So I like to be a generalist. Usually I like to know a bit from everything than just to be specialized in one single thing and not know anything about anything else. And I have the impression that the majority of people are like that, because we like to communicate in other areas other than the ones that are of interest to us personally. So that's why I think taking a look at this assignment and trying to think about what are your strengths and weaknesses in soft skills, how to review your communication skills and actually improve these communication skills, how to adapt, how to be resilient, and evaluate your capacity of approaching challenges, how to solve conflict, and how to accept feedback. These are some soft skills that I found extremely useful in my case, and that helped me to actually progress in my career. So that would be the second assignment. And there's the third assignment, of course, but I added 2 more columns here with respect to core data science roles, which are hard skills and recommended tools. So in addition to responsibilities and soft skills, I would love you to take a look at what are the main hard skills and recommended tools that people genuinely ask for when they are searching for similar roles such as these ones here. I also put them in the specialized data science roles, but I think that this slide is a bit intimidating. Like, I would definitely print it and put it on my wall, but just on a small display, it's a lot of information. So yeah.
I did not want to cut you, but I think this is very like similar to the questions that we got here. Islam Ibrahim was asking what are some best programming languages to learn for core data science roles. I think this is what you recommend, or this is what you would see the common languages that they need to learn. Is there something specific, Andrea, like you see that, yeah, this is the right thing to start, or this is the right tool or programming language to start?
Great question. Yeah, so it's exactly what I had in mind. This is obviously a sort of a general observation of these roles and what the job descriptions actually ask from them. Of course, hard skills and tools are very important, and the majority are unanimous on the importance of knowing Python. So knowing how to code in Python for whatever type of role it might be required. Of course, there are more data visualization roles that do not require that, such as business analyst here, where you would be able to work just in Excel just fine, Tableau, Power BI, or ClickView, or some other industry-specific specific softwares. But the majority agree on the fact that Python and R, of course, are some statistical programming languages that are going to help to boost your confidence in terms of integrating these roles, because the majority of them are working with Python, and the majority of the companies are actually doing that. Another thing that I would recommend, just to sum up all my experience, would be SQL, and being able to query databases is extremely important. Also, at all levels, you will need to connect to a database and extract information from that database so that you start processing it. So SQL, Python, working with notebooks such as Jupyter is pretty important for machine learning oriented individuals. Scikit-learn is extremely important, or TensorFlow. You might be interested in that part. For people more oriented database and big data, you might be interested to work with a big data tool such as Hadoop, Spark, Hive. So it is very, very varied. And of course, there is no one answer to fill all the needs, of course, because as you can see here, as a data scientist consultant, these tools are going to vary depending on what the client's needs are and what are the industry-specific tools that they are using in their companies. So although I'm saying no, some basics of SQL, Python, and a data visualization tool, you will need to adapt when you are going to integrate the company that you are going to work for. But from my experience, these hard skills and the recommended tools that I put here are going to help you improve your CV in that direction. And once you decide on the role, I would advise you to have a third assignment, which is related to your hard skills. What hard skills do you need to improve, and how to do that? Well, actually, you need to gain experience, especially if you are a junior, and you need to adapt and evolve. So gain experience through working on different projects, even though they are your own portfolio, if you don't have like a team to join. Take courses and certifications, and of course, participate in all sorts of initiatives that are going to help you, such as, for example, Kaggle competitions for more data science related projects. So these are some ideas that that you have here for you to try to improve your hard skills, because it's never over. And that's the interesting part about it. It's not that you finished your university and you don't need to learn anything from now on. That's the idea that I had when I finished my university. And I must confess, it's not true at all. The real learning process starts when you integrate the job market, because that's the moment where you are going to confront yourself with the reality and with the real challenges that occur in the market. Any other questions, maybe, Mohammed, that I could address before I move forward?
Well, we have another follow-up question on the difference between or what function does R give than Python does not have, or what R has more than Python. So it's up to you if you'd like to answer this one, or we can take it at the end of the session.
Great question. So yeah, thank you for the interest. Actually, Python and R are similar in the sense that you can do both, with both of them, data science, and you can work on database and clean data with both of them. Python is oriented language program. So actually it has a different structure than R. R was initially designed for people who didn't know how to code in oriented language programs, and R, it's not oriented language, and it was more designed for statisticians, whereas Python was initially designed for developers, for web designers, and for people who knew hard programming concepts. I used both of them, and I can say that there is no difference actually in terms of what you can do, because there are libraries for both of them that can do the same thing. Generally, Python is more universally used right now because it gives you a more bigger flexibility and a bigger community to consult with, and that's why the majority of the companies are adopting Python right now. Either of them is fine, because these are like the biggest two statistics programs that you can have, with Python having additional libraries. Like, I think there are more than 3,000 or 6,000 libraries in Python right now, so you can definitely find anything that you need with a library. The downside being that you need to spend time to understand what those functions are doing and how to use them. But of course, there is always a learning curve that you need to have when talking about hard skills in general. So I hope I answered to that question. I'm going to move.
Very clear. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to move to your data profile. So we learned what data related roles can be, what are their responsibilities, what are the soft and hard skills, what are the main tools that you need to familiarize yourself with. Once again, I put an emphasis on the fact that if you're a junior and you have never worked with Python, well, if you want to integrate the data role, now is the time. And of course, don't reach that perfection before applying for a job, because actually you will never reach it. It's a process in continual development, right? So actually, if you have had the opportunity to code a bit and understand what Python is about, well, I advise you to just let that modesty away and apply for a job, because you will learn a lot of stuff, and just rely on the fact that you are going to be able to adapt on the job. My initial tendency was to say, well, I don't want to apply for a job where I need to code in R, because I only learned at school for 1 year how to code R, and it was not on millions of rows of data sets. It was just on a couple of hundreds, right? So I don't think I'm good enough in R. But actually, you cannot confront yourself with all the possibilities that the project presents on site. So that's why I just encourage you to go ahead and do it. That's the first thing that you want to do, so that you gain more experience. Otherwise, you'll never have experience. So that's my encouragement to you. If you're a junior, if you're a graduate, just do it. Don't be afraid that you won't be able to manage, because you're a smart person, and the probability to manage anything that is given to you is huge. Just do it. Have trust. Okay, so now that we talked about this, I want to focus a bit on your data profile, because being a good producer of projects, being a good solutioneer, let's say, it's not enough for you to arrive to work in those projects if you are not promoting yourselves that you know how to do that, right? So that's where your data profile is really important. Not only working on your real capabilities, but also working on promoting them, because if you're not doing so, no one is going to. So here I'm focusing on 3 aspects, and of course I have some other conferences that I can refer to you afterwards, but the main idea is the following one. You want to have a portfolio, especially as a junior or a graduate. you don't have a lot of experience. So the way to persuade people that you are the good fit is actually to show something that you worked on. And I had cases where I had two junior profiles in front of me. Of course, I was more attracted to see the work of those who had the profile, because they said they knew a specific skill and they showcased it. Whereas someone else who didn't have any portfolio might say, I know how to do that, but I didn't see anything from them. So actually having a portfolio is an evidence of your capabilities and of your work. LinkedIn profile also is going to validate your social profile and actually showcase the fact that your profile is very illegible. Also, having a strategic job search is extremely important. So let's just start with the first one here. A portfolio, I cannot emphasize enough on how important it is for you to showcase the things that you worked on. If they are assignments from your university, if they are just personal projects that you worked on because you liked a particular domain, go ahead and do something about that. Like, I had someone in front of me who applied for a data analyst position, and this person was very, very interested in tennis players and their performances and how these performances evolve. So actually, she created a portfolio that she showed me. It was not like super related to the job description, but she showcased the fact that she knew how to use data to extract useful information out of it and to visualize it. And for me, that was great. That was one of the things that I was searching for that particular job description. Someone else who might say they know how to do that, but they are not showing it, they are not going to persuade as much as possible. They will need to make extra efforts during the technical interview so that I understand that they really mean what they mean, right? And so that's why I encourage you to have a portfolio. It demonstrates skills and expertise. It illustrates practical experience, and it sets you apart in the job market. The more you present portfolios that are related, hopefully, to the job description that you are applying for, the better it is for your case to be considered an eligible candidate. LinkedIn profile and validation is also very important, because having a good profile on LinkedIn boosts your professional visibility, establishes credibility, and enhances network opportunities. And so the majority of the jobs that I had interviews for along the many years that I've been a data scientist were in general through LinkedIn, because it's a great platform where you can showcase your capabilities and others can see them and evaluate them if they want to, and contact you if they want to, or vice versa. You can contact them if you want to. So that's why I'm saying being aware that LinkedIn is a great tool for your recruiting process is important. So for you to say, I want to be a data engineer, well, try to work in the direction of adapting your LinkedIn profile so that it screams that you're a data engineer, okay? This doesn't mean that you need to invent all the keywords possible for you to be taking in the research engine. It means that actually you are going to be aware that there are skills that you need to showcase over there and that you need to work on so that your profile is adapted to the job role that you are applying for or you are searching for. Yes, Mohammed, are there any other questions here that I can address?
Yeah, so we have 8 minutes. So there is one question here that about is there any like for testing, I think, free or open source tools that are available for images or image or data processing image or video processing. So are you aware of such tools?
In what context, image of video processing?
Like are there any free or open source tools that are available perhaps for image and data or video data processing? So I'm not sure about the question. So Omar, please, if you have like more clarity, maybe you can write in the chat.
Yeah, please.
I wanted to ask if I'm interested, for example, in image or video data processing or something like this. I have to implement those kind of algorithms myself or something like this, or are there tools already available that I can try. And for example, for detecting certain objects, I can give it a certain amount of data and it would be able to do that for me, for example.
A great question. There are a lot of tools. I'm not working in this domain, so I'm not like having on top of my mind names, but I can recommend you to look into the everything related to image recognition and object detection libraries from Python. There are a lot of them, so depending on your use case, you might want to look into it. I'm not sure if you did already.
No, I haven't looked yet, but yeah, that answers my question. Thank you.
Yeah, so the first thing, just look into those libraries. There are a lot of them, and actually all the open source tools that are out there are relying in a form or other in image recognition or object detection on Python libraries. So you might want to start with that. And I'm not sure if open source tools are going to be useful for your case, because I suppose there are a lot of there's a lot of sensitive information with respect to automotive industry. So I might recommend maybe doing a benchmark with someone who knows more about this domain. Yeah, hope that's useful for you right now.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Well, so I think, Andrea, it's up to you. I don't know how many key points you'd like to address, but just time management side, we have about 5 minutes left, so I will leave it up to you to sum up. Thank you.
So I'll take 2 or 3 minutes to focus on the idea of crafting your data science CV. Actually, this is very important because that's the topic that actually I wanted to cover today. So I make sure that people understand that having a good data profile also is important, not only for letting people know that you're working in this domain, but actually letting recruiters know that you're fit for the job description that you are applying for. So crafting your data science CV in addition to the LinkedIn profile is extremely important. And I chose, but of course on my LinkedIn page, there are many more advices with respect to CVs and adapting them to data related roles. But for data science CV roles in particular, I have 3 main key takes away for you. Quantify your accomplishments, use strong action verbs, and be selective about what you want to include. So the first one, quantify your accomplishments. Here it means that I see too often this error that people are saying, well, actually I worked on this project and it gave great results. Well, we need more quantifiable values, like at least 15% of the information that you present in a job description section should be measurable or quantifiable, should have a result. I will not say I worked in a project and it gave great results. I would say I worked in a project for 3 months, and thanks to my dedicated time, I was able to increase 30% of the productivity of my colleagues due to that. So always quantifiable values, numbers, percentages, anything that showcases what your accomplishment is more important and more useful for the recruiter than just saying something generic. Also, use action verbs. Also, for example, I deployed, I delivered, built, led, transformed, performed, improved, reduced are better word choices than just describe your experience by I made something, I worked with, I showed that, I thought about, I tried that. These are weak action verbs or weak verbs, which mean that they are not having that impact that you are interested in to letting. Another point here, be selective about what you want to include in the CV. So if there is someone with 20 years of experience in the veterinary domain and wants to integrate a new data job, actually they shouldn't give all the 20 years of experience in the veterinary domain. They should actually just mention those experiences that had soft skills improvements and responsibilities which are similar to the job description that we have. So you only should mention the most recent experience, which is relevant for the job that you are applying for. Another bonus point here, and that's actually, I'm going to wrap up afterwards, is add bullet points into your course sections. So just don't write a lot of paragraphs and bland text that people are not going to read because they have 100 other CVs that they need to revise in an hour. Try to actually have between 12 or 20 bullet points, and top resumes contain between 12 and 20 bullet points to describe their accomplishments using strong words and using quantifiable results. So actually try to focus on this so that you render your CV easier to read and faster to read. And so, yeah, I'm going to wrap here by saying that, well, we took a look at what data science roles are with respect to responsibilities, soft skills, and hard skills. I mentioned why having a data profile is important. And also, please refer to these points if you have the occasion afterwards with respect to crafting your data science CV. These tips I saw were extremely important. They are making you be more organized and showcase your CV in a more attractive manner. And if you don't know where to start from, well, actually having a mentor is pretty useful also, because they are going to help you how to be strategic about your learning, how to receive the professional guidance that you need from people who have already years of experience in that domain. And they are going to help you also connect and network and have opportunities in that field that maybe you have never thought about. And that's why I think is so important, in case you don't know where to start from, maybe to connect with people who have this experience. And just to wrap it up here, I'm specializing in personalized career coaching programs. In case if you're interested, well, you can contact me on my Talkmate, and you can also contact Mohamed and Mentored IT, who are offering a lot of coaching advice in different IT domains. And I strongly encourage you to take a look at the websites so that you learn more about the different packages and opportunities here.
Thank you so much, Andrea. I'm sure this was very helpful for many of our attendees here, so really appreciate your taking the time this session. And as mentioned by Andrea, so she's very well experienced in this domain, providing a huge amount of effort to help people like us and like you to get a better IT job. So in case you will be interested in such guidance, please feel free to contact Andrea directly or via Mentored. So again, thank you so much, Andrea, and thank you so much for all our attendees here. I see here some thank yous for you. So
thank you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm super curious to see what your goals are. So please don't hesitate to contact us and let us know what you took out from this course and what you're planning to do next. Having SMART goals is always great for you to stick to the plan and stay focused on your ambitions. So thanks everyone, and I wish you good luck in the future.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Have a good weekend ahead. Thank you all.
Thank you.